Okay, here's the last part, a parabolic question, and a question at the end here. Let's just graph y equals 1/2 x squared minus 8. Well, if we have to know that this is a parabola and that it's happy because it's a positive number here. If you let x equal 0, 1/2 of 0 is 0, y must equal minus 8. So there's your y-intercept. The axis of symmetry is the y-axis. How do we find the x-intercepts? Well, what we do is we let y equal 0. And if we do that and we multiply everything here by 2, 1/2 times 2 is 1. 2 times 8 is 16, but it's minus 16. Then we factor x minus 4, x plus 4 like this. We do the factoring thing. We're looking at the solutions for what makes y 0. That's x is 4. And x is minus 4. There's our two x-intercepts, our y-intercept, our shape. We've labeled everything. That's how we get the 4 marks. Okay, let's try this next question. It says, you've got this parabola f, and they're giving you 4 and minus 4 as the x-intercepts, and minus 4 as the y-intercept. And they're giving you a line function with an x-intercept of 4 and a y-intercept of 4. That's a lot of things, but they're asking you, what's a and q if the parabola is y equals ax squared plus q? Well, what you do is this. If you let x equal 0 in this function, you're looking at what q is here, but that must, when x is 0, q is minus 4. So q is minus 4 is your answer. That is the y-intercept. Okay, now we take a point. Say x is 4 and y is 0, and we substitute in, we know that q is minus 4, but instead of x we put 4, instead of y we put 0. Well, here we got 16a's, and we got a minus 4. We move to the other side, it becomes positive 4. So 16a equals 4. Divide by 16, we've got a is 1/4. Now for the line, y equals mx plus c, what's the gradient? What's the y-intercept? Well, we know the y-intercept of the line is the same as the parabola. C must be minus 4. So we've got an equation, y equals mx minus 4. Well, let's just substitute in 4 and 0 again in 2. So we get m times 4 is 4m, but we add the 4, we get 4m equals 4. Divide by 4, and we get m equals 1. Okay, the last few questions here. Let's say, determine which values of x where f is less than or equal to g of x. And the question really saying is, where does the parabola dip below the line? Well, it's right in here between the x and y intercept, but that's between 4 and 0. So x is less than or equal to 4, but more than or equal to 0. That's when the parabola will be below the line, less than the line. Where will determine the values of x where f times g will be greater than or equal to 0. That's saying when I multiply the two values f and g together, I'll get a positive number. Well, that or 0. Well, they're both above the line here. That'd be positive. If I went anywhere to the right of 4, or 4, it would make 0. These two are negative values down here, so it would work fine there. Gee, it would work fine here. It would work fine right here. You'd have a negative times a negative. The only time it would stop working is when you had a plus f anywhere to the left or equal to negative 4. When would f times g be greater than or equal to 0? Greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so that would be, well, what is my answer? Anytime when it's bigger. The only time it's not going to work is when it's to the left of negative 4. So anywhere bigger than minus 4 should work. It'll either be 0 because they're all on the same side of the line. So it's going to be a negative times a negative, a positive times a positive. All those values of x will work. So anywhere greater than or equal to minus 4. And the last ones here, what's the range of f? All the things f can be. all the y, what's all the y, what are all the things that y can be in the function f? Well, y never goes with a parabola below -4. So y's got to be greater than or equal to -4. And the domain of g is all the things that x can be in for the line. Well, you can choose any x value you like, and you'll get a y value for this function of this line. So the domain is a set of all real numbers. For x is an element of the real numbers. Okay, well, that's it.